Lily Phillips has just come out to state that she has got huge regrets for one of the biggest controversial stunts that she has ever attempted. Okay? And people are going to hear that and be like, an OF model, right, that makes hundreds of thousands of pounds per month regrets something. Not likely. Well, if there's one thing, right, so Bonnie Blue's kind of created this mold for OF girls where they're like callous, they're, emotionless, nothing phases them, and all they are is this character and persona. But Lily Phillips, I've always found, kind of breaks that mold where she is a bit more, for want of a better term, vulnerable. We obviously saw it in the 100 Guy documentary where she cried afterwards. Clearly, she was incredibly overwhelmed. She got emotional when talking to her parents, and her parents were like, please stop what you're doing. And, she's always kind of had a bit more soul behind the eyes. Now, Bonnie Blue, on the other hand, a lot of people say that she's soulless. A lot of people say that she's, just not, there's nothing going on behind those eyes apart from just this persona, which may be the case, it may not be the case. And obviously there is a bit of a fierce, bitter rivalry between Bonnie Blue and Lily Phillips, and it kind of ties in to the narrative that we're going to be talking about today. Because in an interview that came out from Finn Taylor, who of course is a stand-up comic, he posted a video, Bonnie Blue, Finn versus the Internet, Season 4, Episode 11. Now, if you haven't seen this, it's actually hilarious. It's really good. And I do recommend that you go and watch it, not for the sake of Bonnie Blue, but just for the sake of Finn Taylor, because his work is fantastic. I really enjoy watching what he does. But anyway, moving on from that. So, within this, one of the things that is mentioned within this particular episode is with regards to Lily Phillips. So it's like, oh, I think Finn Taylor's something like, what's your relationship like with Lily Phillips? What do you think of her, kind of thing? And basically Bonnie just tears into her and is like, oh, she's just a copy. Anything that I do, she has to do 24 hours later. She's just riding my coattail, trying to do anything that I do. And that is something that we'd seen. Obviously, whenever there was a challenge, she'd always try to upscale it. And there was one incident in particular that really, she did copy, but allegedly she now instantly kind of regrets. Let's not forget, right, that Lily Phillips is someone that walked around with men's fluids on her face around central London. She has done 50 guys in the back door challenges. She's done 100 guys in 12 hours. She's done all of this, right? But there's one thing in particular that she regrets. Now, Lad Bible have done an article about this, and it came from, they've kind of spoken about it from an article from the Metro when she spoke to the Metro. And we're going to go and skip over all the fluff because all the articles are always filled with fluff at the very beginning. But speaking to Metro, Phillips said that all her attention-grabbing actions, faking being pregnant, was one that she wishes she hadn't performed. Obviously, this was, again, one of the things that she kind of rode on the coattail of Bonnie Blue for. So, we saw it in the documentary, if you've watched the Bonnie Blue documentary on Channel 4, which is also really good because it gives you a bit of insight into kind of the world of OF. The media started speculating, or fans started speculating, that Bonnie Blue was pregnant. Bonnie Blue... that then caught the attention of the major media outlets, and the major media outlets reached out to Bonnie Blue and were like, we've heard that you're pregnant, can you comment? She chose, I think she either chose not to comment or she just added fuel to the fire, because obviously it's fantastic PR marketing, and it was memed on. It was like Bonnie Blue's pregnancy test, and it's like going through thousands of guys to try and find out who the dad was. Bonnie Blue in the labour ward, and it was like basically her, loads of guys, just like a revolving door trying to find out if they're the dad. And it was like, she also played into it by stating that she was going to OF live stream her birth, and it was going to be like the first ever time that anyone ever does that. So she just added fuel to this fire. Lily Phillips wanted a slice of that action as well, posted a fake image to her Instagram of her allegedly being pregnant, which obviously wasn't real. Now, the issue here, right, we'll talk about this in just a moment. So, the issue here isn't the fact that, she just stated that she was pregnant. The issue was the backlash that she received, because obviously this is quite an insensitive thing to do. When you think about people who try really hard to have babies, who desperately want to have a family, who desperately want to have babies, might be infertile for whatever reason, it might just not happen for them, they might lose the babies. It's quite an insensitive thing to do, to just kind of flaunt that you might be pregnant when you're not. and so easily done when other people are literally fighting to try and have children and they're not able to. I always found that to be quite an insensitive thing to do. Like, especially when we found out that they both weren't pregnant. It was a bit like, oh, that's a bit of a dick move. But apparently she regrets it, apparently. So the adult star had made the announcement back in February, sharing photos of herself on social media, cradling what appeared to be a baby bump, along with a picture of 2 positive pregnancy tests. Phillips announced that it's official, though many at the time called her out and said that it was most likely fake news, as she later deleted the announcement post. She said, quote, "I think when you're constantly evolving and learning on the job, you do make mistakes, and it's awkward for me because that mistake is in the public eye. I didn't realise how much of an effect it would have on women, and deep down that was I was putting out there. I am sorry, I regret doing that." She also said to the Metro at the low point of her year was her parents appearing on Stacey Dooley's sleepover, where they pleaded with her to stop the stunt. Her parents went on the show and wondered why their daughter did what she did, saying that they would give her everything you want if she gave it up. They said, quote, "Is it the money? Because if it's the money, we'd sell our house. You could have everything you want, Lily, if you give it all up now. We'd do anything to stop her from doing the extreme stuff." Phillips says that her relationship with her parents has, quote unquote, definitely changed a bit, but she said she wouldn't say it for the worse. Describing herself between a rock and a hard place, she said that ultimately selfish of me. I think it's supposed to be ultimately selfish of me to put my parents through this, but she can't see myself doing anything else right now. Now, I find that really interesting. Obviously, she's stated as well that what she's going to try and do now is create an AI version or an AI model of herself in which people can just put prompts of her in whatever positions they could possibly desire for her, and then the prompt will just create Lily doing that. And that's going to be her new cash cow. I mean, ultimately, she's not exactly putting herself out there anymore. Yes, her likeness is out there and will be used for very, very compromising things. I think, she should probably be very careful about how she safeguards herself in this situation, because we've seen what AI is capable of. Only recently, I made a video over on my AI channel talking about a guy who has just been sentenced for creating child indecent images because he took just a random photo of a child from Facebook and just put it through an AI generator and created over 1,000 images of indecent positions for this child. You can put 2 and 2 together and understand. Obviously, AI is boundless, is limitless, unless there's safeguards put in place. So in that instance, I think that should be something that, should be considered moving forward. But I do think this is probably a step in the right direction. She's not physically out there doing these things anymore. But obviously, as well, she's never going to find a job that pays half what she's probably generating now. And it's one of them ones. It's a bit of a catch-22. What do you guys think, though? Is she truly remorseful for this? I think she probably is. Obviously, it's better than what we've ever got from Bonnie Blue, which is just, I'd do it again kind of thing. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. While you're down there, jump scare the hell out of that like button and subscribe. And until next time, I'll speak to you later. Peace.